Welcome to Crochet ADHD. I'm your host, Jackie. I rearranged my yarn area. I say yarn area. This is my craft room, which still carries the moniker of soap room because like this half of the room is my soap making station setup. And also parts down here. And of course, you know, here's my sewing machine. So this is like my sewing area. But I rearranged the yarny section. I still have my closet of shame. I'm working on it. But I'm working on it. In rearranging, I found some yarn that I forgot I had. I have a lot of lace weight yarn. This is, let me see if you can, Shapesies Alpaca Rhythm. I think it might be discontinued. I got this last year in a mystery box from a website called Dot's Yarn Den. And I got 4 different colors. And it's really cute because all of their colors are named for a different dance. Like this is polka. This one is cha-cha. Okay, so I got 3, not 4. And this one is called disco. But look how thin. And I gotta say that having found these, and I have 2 of each colorway, and let's see, the yarn is 80% alpaca and 20% extra fine wool. And the yardage, it's okay, it's a 25 gram ball and it's 200 meters. So that's what, 210 yards or so. Finding this and rearranging my Holst yarn, which let me see if I can show you. There, I believe that I'm going to be able to pair these together with different colors of this, and I'm going to have some beautiful, beautiful sweaters come fall and winter. That's exciting. Hold on a second. It is the okay. There'll be 2 of these going into the giveaway box because I know that there are plenty of people who love this, and let me show you what else is living in the giveaway box already. 3 skeins of this.
What?
And you know, this is my color. I have tried to come up with every excuse in the world not to get rid of this particular colorway because I love it so much. What is it called? Lichen. I love this so much. 2 skeins of denim. I have enjoyed this, and I have met so many wonderful people, and y'all are my tribe. You know, I went back and watched my very first episode, and it's I'm still me, but I could see my nerves. There are certain, not twitches, but there's certain things that I do when I'm really nervous, and I'm glad to see that those things I've gotten rid of because I've gotten more comfortable, you know, in front of the camera. Yeah, it's funny to watch. I was talking about my Hobby Lobby haul from, well, 2022, and I had just started clearing out, rearranging my yarn, and I'm looking at some of the yarn that I had hauled in that video, and I was a little bit ashamed because I kept saying that
I bought this yarn purposefully and I'm definitely going to use it, and it's not just gonna...
Yeah, so I kind of told on myself, but I have moved the yarns that I'm really anxious to use, really excited to use. And some of the yarn that I got last year what's it called? 44th Street. And it's so soft, but it's like, it reminds me, like the softness of it, it's like trying to crochet with butter. Butter is soft, but there's no structure to it. And I have quite a few skeins of the 44th Street. I am planning to try to make some sweaters, pullovers, vests, cardigans, or whatever. Not all of those things, just anyway, I'm hoping to use that. And that, with that statement, it's leading me into my next little thing. Let me put this in the right order. All right. So every year I have my own little, crochet challenge, which is the calendar inspiration thing. And I always look for other make-alongs that are happening. And this year, the Knits and Pieces podcast is hosting a Smash That Stash, where you're encouraged to use yarn that's been in your stash since before January 1st of 2023. And I have done a really good job of stash smashing. I think, with the exception of the tee that I made for Not Hetty, everything has come out of stash or so far this year. Wow! Because I just got the Vista, I think in May, and that is the quickest that I've received yarn and made something with it. So that should be a make along too. I don't know what you'd call it, but that's a feat. Am I alone in my statement here? I mean, most of the time the yarn's got to sit for a little while, but yeah, this came and got crocheted up almost instantly. Look, it was less than 60 days. Yeah. So anyway, I've been participating in that make along, and then the Summer of Romance make along, which I believe it started the first week of June and it ends August 31st. So I'm participating in that one. I'm also looking to participate in a MAL called Dust 'Em Off, and it's hosted by Ruth Loves to Knit. She is one of my favorite podcasts. She's a knitter, and she's Scottish, but she lives in England. I love her accent. I just love her so much. But anyway, she has a make along that just started, and it's called Dust 'Em Off. And the encouragement behind this one is to use a pattern that has been in our stash forever, that we may have bought the yarn for and just never did anything with. So I am looking forward to this one runs to the end of the year. I'm looking forward to it because, aside from the fact that, yeah, okay, I'm going to take one for the team here. I have an obnoxiously large pattern library. Between magazines, books, booklets, and then the digital versions of patterns, it's a lot. I it's a lot that I have. And because of the 80s make along that starts in August, I figure that's going to be the perfect combination because it'll be an old pattern that works for the 80s, plus it works for this make along. So I'm trying really hard to what was I saying? I'm trying really hard to not even double dip. I'm gonna dip in as many make-alongs as possible with one, with one item or something like that. I just have to. It's like I like the challenge of it. Now, more make-alongs. There's the Sock Not Sock, which is hosted by Katrina from, wow. How did it just disappear?
6 hours later.
Y'all, that's not even fair. Mindful Crafts and More. Mindful. Okay. The Sock Not Sock, where you use sock yarn to make something other than socks. And since most of the shawls that I make use sock yarn, I'm able to, dip into that make along. And if I use yarn that's been in my stash for a long time, you see what I'm saying? It's like you can mix all of these things together and it's so exciting. All right, now there's another one. It is called, okay, this one is being hosted by Texas Peach Knits, and it's called Texas Peach Knits Fluff Your Stash Make Along 2023. It's a really long name. I'm gonna, yeah. And her thing is reorganize your stash. Use your stash. Just do things with your stash. I don't know how long it's running until. I believe it just started in June. And I found her channel and her make along the day after I rearranged all of my stuff. And I was like, doggone it. But she said, if you take a picture of the after, it still counts. So I'm going to take a picture and post it on Instagram because this make along is being hosted on Instagram. Another make along that I could participate in. Now this one's a big one, and this one is being hosted by Casey at Young Folk Knits. Casey is my sweater enabler, okay? Y'all know that in December of last year, she started hosting the Bougie Sweatshirt the Bougie Sweatshirt Cal. It was Cal with a K, but I asked if it was okay for crocheters and she said yes. So, this year she's doing one. I can't remember the name of it, so I'll put it here, but you are encouraged to knit or crochet a sweater that you would wear if you were going to Rhinebeck. So if you're going to Rhinebeck, make your sweater. If you would go to Rhinebeck, but you're not, make this sweater. And to me, a Rhinebeck sweater seems to always incorporate I feel like it should be a color work sweater. And there are several that have been in my stash for a long time that I think will fit the bill for this make along. I think it starts I don't know when it starts. I just know she posted about it and I was just like, see, Casey, she's my sweater enabler. And that's okay. I know I live in Louisiana and technically it doesn't get so cold. You know what? I get cold a lot. So shut up. Now, I have a few that if Editing Jackie is feeling so gracious, she might pop a few pictures up here as to what I'm thinking about making. And I want to use, what was I thinking about? Okay, I want to use either the 44th Street yarn that I was telling you about. I also have some YARNVIP Soft and Sleek DK that I think would be beautiful in a sweater. And also, given, you know, I have these lace weight fluffy yarns that maybe I can pair with some of my Holst Super Soft and make sweater, vest, cardigan, whatever. So, and I was using stash. So yay. All right, so August 1st is the official kickoff to the I Love the 80s Cal. I've gotten a lot of questions about what we're supposed to make. You can make anything that you want, whether it's a pair of socks, a hat, a bandana, a shawl, a sweater, shorts, Afghan, blanket, granny square, whatever you want to make. There is nothing that is off limits. If you can make it, it is welcome. The criteria are this. One, it is running from August 1st to August 31st. So please pick a project that you can successfully complete in a month. I know it's a bit of a challenge, but what I am looking for is, I want you to make something that makes you think of the 1980s. So if it is yarn from the 1980s, if you use a pattern that was printed in the 1980s, if the color inspiration that you use comes from something from the 1980s, just anything. And there's so many colors that were throughout the 1980s that and some of the sizings, yeah, that's the other thing that I have noticed, that, you know, the sizing isn't always the same. You know, they'll just say like small, medium, large, not necessarily, you know, like a bust number or a number size. So there is a challenge. Anyway, I hope that that helps find or give you some inspiration as to what the I Love the 80s Cal is about.